Hello, everybody. It's Daniel speaking, an English teacher. Today, I will show you another episode of our Emotional English podcast, where we learn an English language effortlessly, emotionally, fulfilled with energy, and of course, positively. Right? First of all, I'm so sorry. I'm kind of late this week, so I feel really bad right now. I have a really bad food poisoning. But it's all right, shit happens, some people say. Shit happens, right? So when something goes not in the right direction, in the direction which you want, so it means shit happens, right? So bad things can happen as well, right? As good things. And I like the quote from, what's his name, by the way? The guy who played in Outlast. What's his name? Come on. And this guy, Forrest Gump guy, I forgot his name. Anyway, this Forrest Gump guy, I think I will find him. I will find his name right away. Come on, it's somewhere. Forrest Gump. Give me a sec, guys. Forrest Gump, right? Oh, yeah. What's his name? All right. So the main guy is Tom Hanks, right? So Tom Hanks said once, right? I've watched his just a short on Instagram, and it's very beautiful words there. The quote is, "This too shall pass," right? This too shall pass. What does it mean? It means that it doesn't matter what's going on in your life right now. It's gonna stop, right? It's gonna stop anyway. Why? Because life works this way. For example, when you feel joy, when you feel very nice, right? So one day you wake up and then you don't feel the same anymore, right? You feel normally, but not excited anymore. So then you see another bad situation happen with you, and you feel bad 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, and then next day you woke up and then nothing mattered, right? So it's already in the past, so you have new emotions again. You feel normally, right? So anyway, why I'm saying that, I like this quote, right? This too shall pass, right? So I'm feeling not good, but this too shall pass. All right. So, but this is not the topic of our today's lesson, guys. Today's episode is going to be interesting. We're talking about the movie, okay? It's another movie episode where we kind of discussing with you an interesting movies, right? My favorite movie lists, right? So previously in one of our episodes, we discussed the great story about Jim Carrey, right? And about the movie Liar, Liar. But today's episode is going to be about another great movie. It's called What Dreams May Come, all right, with Robin Williams, okay? So I really love this movie. It's an amazing movie. Maybe if you're kind of young right now, maybe if you're 16, 15 or less, probably you will not catch the whole idea of the movie, because while I'm watching this movie, I'm crying like a baby. I can't stop my emotions because this movie is super dramatic and so realistic. So, but I don't want to spoil anything here. I will just give you a little representation of this movie. And of course, I will read a little text for you. And then we will try to learn new vocabulary. I will try to ask you some questions about it. And then that's how we're going to practice and learn and grow, right? So that's the clue for today, okay? Anyway, I highly recommend you guys just write it down right now, right? What Dreams May Come. It's a very old movie, so it is a 1998 American fantasy drama film. So the director of this film is Vincent Ward and adapted by Ronald Bass from the 1978 novel of the same name by Richard Matheson, right? I think I pronounced it correctly, Richard Matheson. So anyway, the idea is that novel, right? The same name, What Dreams May Come. And what's cool about this film, for that age, 1998, so this movie, nominated for the Academy Award for Best Art Direction, then Academy Award for Best Visual Effects, right? And the Art Directors Guild Award for excellence in production design. Okay, so and I think it's all right. So the next is what I really want to quote here. The title is from a line in Hamlet's, right? Hamlet's, it's one of the popular literature things. I just don't remember who is the author of it. Really, not very good at it, but I like this. I think you heard that quote, "To be or not to be," right? So have you heard it? I think yes. So this is a pretty popular one, right? And I think it's a soliloquy, right? Soliloquy, it's when one person talks, right? Imagine the guy, he talk. It's not the dialogue, right? The opposite of a dialogue is soliloquy, right? Soliloquy is the opposite of the dialogue, right? Or normally people say monologue, right? Monologue, right? Not a dialogue, but monologue. So to be or not to be, that the question, right? That is a question. All right. Anyway, so what dreams may come true? So this film, right, kind of arrived to the market in 1998. And like I said before, it is an American fantasy drama film. And now I will ask you guys when the film arrived to the market. What was the year? Okay, it's 1998, right? And is it a Russian movie, a Slovenian or Slavic movie, or it's an American? Okay, cool. And tell me a little bit more about the type of the film, right? I mean, the genre, right? The genre of the film. Is it a fantasy? Is it a, comedy movie? Is it a drama, right? Is it a science fiction? So what do you know? Maybe it's a blockbuster? Of course not. It's like a combination, right? We have some fantasy here and drama, right? Fantasy, drama. Okay. So let's begin from a little discussion about the film. Why I so adore it, right? The word adore means that you love something so much. So why I so adore the movie, which called, like we said, What Dreams May Come True with Robin Williams. So because this movie is very, very emotional, right? And I think that this movie is the eye-opener. Why? I will read the text and you will understand, okay? Or if not, I will give you my thoughts about it. So let's read this little part. So the plot of the movie, while vacationing, right? I think I'm correct, right? I think yeah. So while vacationing in Switzerland, pediatrician, right? I think, yes, this is the correct one. Yeah, his name is, he's a pediatrician. So pediatrician Chris Nielsen meets artist Annie Collins, okay? So again, I will read this because I fucked it up too much. So while vacationing in Switzerland, pediatrician Chris Nielsen meets artist Annie Collins, okay? We have two people here. Chris Nielsen, he is a dog doctor. No, he's a pediatrician, right? Pediatrician. So it's the name of the profession for the doctor, right? And then Annie Collins, right? So what is her profession? Okay, she's an artist, right? So while vacationing in Switzerland, pediatrician Chris Nielsen meets artist Annie Collins. So they both good people, right? And they're kind of, into each other. So they marry and have two children. The first kid name is Ian, and the second name is Mary. Next, their idyllic life ends when the children die in a car crash. And this is the beginning, right, of the movie. So I'm really scared. Okay, I'm not scared. I'm really kind of emotional when I see when people kind of dying and these people are very close to the family. Just imagine they have a nice family, 2 kids, and then one day 2 kids, just die, right? It's not good. It's not good. So it's very sad. I mean, it's not good. It's sad. Very sad. It's a big sorrow. The sorrow word means that it's a big sadness, right? Big sorrow. So 4 years later, Chris is also killed in a car crash, unaware that he's dead. And confused that no one will interact with him, Chris lingers on Earth. Okay, I will read this part again. So the idyllic life ends when the children die in a car crash, right? So how the kids died? Oh, okay. By, they drowned, or what's happened? Electricity? No. So it was the car crash. So the 2 kids kind of died in a car crash, right? So 4 years later, Chris also killed in a car crash. Ooh. So they had 4 people: Chris Nilsson, Annie Collins, Ian and Mary. And first, Ian and Mary died, and then Chris died, also killed in a car crash, okay? So that's really bad. So unaware that he is dead and confused that no one will interact with him, Chris lingers on Earth. What does it mean? Lingers. Lingers means stay on Earth, right? Lingers on Earth. So Chris, the guy, he's a ghost now because he's dead, and he stays on Earth. He lingers on Earth, and he tries to communicate with his wife, and he tries to do something, but he's a ghost. So the lady, she can't hear, right? She couldn't hear him because of this reality, right? The guy is dead and she's alive. So these 2 worlds are not connected, and you can't speak while you're a shadow, right? It's impossible. So I think it's pretty understandable right now, right? So we have a big family. What's sad about this movie? Why it's a dramatic movie? So a lot of people dead here, right? So we have Ian, Mary, and Chris. All of them are dead. Not good. And then what's happening next? So Chris, right, this ghost, sees Annie's attempts to cope with his loss and attempts to communicate with her despite advice from a presence that this will only cause her more pain. So the idea here is that the ghost trying to connect with the lady again and again with Annie, but every single time when she or he attempts to it, when he tries to interact with a girl, he realizes that it doesn't work. It doesn't work in a good way. So it causes her even more pain than before when he tries to do something, right? Really bad. So anyway, when he attempts indeed cause more sorrow, he decides to move on, right? What does it mean when you're deciding to move on? It means that you're kind of saying bye-bye my past, hello my future, right? So when you experiencing a very bad time, for example, you feel really bad about your previous relationships, and now you say bye-bye, I don't want to be sad anymore, I want to say hello. So what you're doing? Of course, you're kind of moving on, right? You move on, you go next. This is a good statement here. Next, Chris awakens in a heaven that he has created with his imagination. Yeah, it's another good point of this movie. So it's all about heaven and hell, right? If you're a Christian, you will understand me, right? I think if you're a Muslim or another religion, religious person, it doesn't matter, because I think all of you guys have this idea that there is a place where you can feel good and there is a place where you can feel really bad, right? In Christianism, it's called hell, right? It's burning, demons there, and like bad demons, and they can burn your ass. They are kind of torturing you there, and torturing means trying to manipulating you and trying they make everything to you that you feel bad after it. Okay, so you kind of feeling stressed, angry. You feel a lot of bad emotions there, okay? It's the hell. And heaven, it's the total opposite of hell. It's the place where you have angels, Jesus Christ, people are happy, total exception, love, peace, whatever. So you understand me, right? So this is the idea. And this movie is about this. Again, I don't want to spoil all the details here. I think this is enough for this kind of concept, right? So Chris awakens in a heaven that he creates with his imagination. So when people die, probably the concept of the movie is saying that, when you die, you create your own future heaven or place in heaven. If you're a good person, you go to heaven, right? If you're a bad person, you'll go to hell. And that's why some people say, hey, you, go to hell, bitch. Oh, my bad. This is a very inappropriate word on my podcast. It's not DJ-14 or how it's called. So, sorry, guys. If you have some kids here, sorry about that. That was a misword or misclick for the word. Sorry about that. Okay, anyway, where am I? I'm trying to say that heaven in this movie is the world where you can do whatever you want. You can fly there. You can enjoy life. And while you're watching these, very emotional moments, right? When the guy just dead, right? He died in a car crash. Then he was in love with his girlfriend or wife, right? Lovely wife. And then he just arrived to heaven. He's very happy, but he still feels that love, right? He feels that his heart is still belongs to that girl on earth, right? But what's happened next? Okay, the most important part of the movie is that this lady, she committing suicide. Okay, she committed suicide, and when you're committed suicide, it means that you're killing yourself, right? So the girl committed suicide. This girl named is Annie Collins. She was the wife of Chris Nelson, right? And so she committed suicide, and she went to hell. So, and here is the movie. We have the dilemma, right? What is the dilemma? Dilemma, it's like very hard decision, right? Or, it's very hard to pick one option. Because, first of all, you are in heaven, right? Chris in heaven, and Annie is not in heaven. So she is in hell. And what's happening next? You have to watch it, not me, all right? So that's your movie, not mine, all right? You need to watch it. I don't want to spoil all moments there, okay? But just try to think about this movie as something philosophical or maybe something which is kind of eye-opener, because just imagine the guy, he was like 40 or something like that, like 37, whatever, or almost 50, it doesn't matter. Anyway, the idea is that life is short, and this all about love and relationships and this kind of good connections between people and kids, and how important is it to be connected with your family, with your kids, with your loving being, with your soulmates, right? The idea of soulmates is posted there, right? Really cool. like I said, I was crying like a baby several times while I was watching it, okay? It's a very emotional movie, and you definitely want to see it, okay? So, promise me you will watch it, right? Promise means, you're giving a word that you will watch the movie. You're promising it, right? So anyway, so I hope you guys understood what I just said to you. And let me ask you something, right, which I just already passed. Do you remember, Annie, she died in a car crash, or she did something else? Annie, again, I will revise you here. So it's like she's a wife of Chris Nielsen, right? And so how she died. All right. So she died how? Yeah, it's easy, right? So she died as a murderer herself, right? So she killed herself. She committed suicide, okay? It's very bad. When you try to commit suicide, you're kind of trying to kill yourself. It's not good. It's not good. So be aware. Nothing can fix this action, right? So if you will kill yourself, you will never go back here, okay? This is only one route journey. You know how the people say. Route, it's another option of way, right? Route, way. When you go and open the Google Maps or Yandex Maps, you can see that, oh, look at that. And, I use a very fast route, right? It's just the way, fastest way. Okay, anyway, you got that, right? So she committed suicide, right? When the kids died. Okay, they died in a car crash, right? And where is the Chris died? Okay, he was killed, right? He was killed in a car crash as well, all right? But he was not in the car there, if I'm not mistaken. He was kind of standing on the road, and no spoilers. Okay, so thank you guys. That's kind of enough for this communication. I just want to read this part one more time for you from the beginning until the end. And then, so we will just revise, right, the topic, and then so we're going to be very thankful for that discussion. So let's start. While vacationing in Switzerland, so pediatrician Chris Nielsen meets artist Annie Collins. They marry and have 2 children, Jan and Mary. Their idyllic life ends when the children die in a car crash. 4 years later, Chris is also killed in a car crash. Unaware that he is dead and confused that no one will interact with him, Chris lingers on Earth, right? Sorry, I just a little bit messed up. So he sees Annie's attempts to cope with his loss and attempts to communicate with her, despite advice from a presence that this will only cause her more pain. When his attempts indeed cause more sorrow, he decides to move on. So Chris awakens in heaven that he has created with his imagination. His surroundings are mountainous landscape that resembles a painting created by his wife and is similar to a place where the two desired to spend their old age. Okay, this is enough. So where I've got this information, also, it's from Wikipedia, the best free encyclopedia ever, right? So What Dreams May Come, very good movie, right? All right, so why I recommend you to watch this movie? Because first of all, it can be the eye-opener if you have a specific way of thinking about life, about people. This can change the whole game of your life, all right? Just watch it. This movie is kind of long one, but highly recommend you to watch it in English because it's more interesting to watch when the real character speaks, right? Speak with each other. It's really cool. Highly recommend you this, guys. It's really cool. And what else? And next thing is this movie can give you the idea of religion, right? So you can see the religion from different sides, right? If you're a Christian, you see the heaven and hell. If you are Jewish or another, or Muslim, or if you are believing Buddha, I think they have very close concepts, right? If I'm not mistaken. I'm more Buddhist, so I can say that I believe in Buddha and I believe in the place like heaven, but we have different types of worlds, and if you're having a good karma, you go to the good world. If you're having a bad karma, so you go to the place like hell, and you have a great experience there, okay? And you have to gain your awareness out there. So awareness, it's a knowledge, right? Awareness, knowledge, it's pretty similar words. Okay, so we got that. If you guys have any questions, right, to me about our podcast, or if you guys want to discuss specific topics, please make sure that you go to my Instagram page on Instagram. It's Bondarison, and then send me the message. What kind of topics are you interested the most, right? Just let me know, and maybe I will show something about these topics during our next podcast episode, right? Why not? And yeah, again, this podcast is not over for this week. I will have another podcast, I think on Sunday. I will post it, or Monday, all right? So this Sunday or Monday, you will have another episode. So I know I was sick, and I'm still kind of sick. I have no lessons with my students this week because it's just terrible. I can't move from my bed, and actually now I'm just speaking with you because I have nothing to do. I'm kind of laying with pain and little temperature here, but who knows? Some people from my TikTok channel, they're asking, where are your videos? We're missing. We miss you so much, because almost a week I'm not posting anything because I feel really bad. Sorry about that, guys. Really sorry. All right, so that was our Emotional English podcast, where we learned a great English emotionally. Maybe today was not so emotionally, so sorry about that. But anyway, thank you to joining me today. I really love when people are staying with our podcast. We already have more than 122 followers on Yandex Plus. It's a big number for me, guys. Thank you all, guys. Really appreciate it. If you're still not subscribed, please do that immediately. And I see you next time. Have a heavenly day. Bye-bye.